P-Dog 1972, as they say. And, well, what we're doing today is restoring this Ford GT40. It's a game I've been messing with for a little while now. Gotten far enough. Figured I might have some fun and share this. As you can see, I basically have a frame. Over here we happen to have the engine block. Actually, I need to get this tore down properly. Pretty much all these parts are junk. We're gonna repair what we can repair. Whatever they won't let us repair, we'll replace. Which then will leave us with a brand new car. Alrighty, that seems to have worked out well. Now I heard I can possibly paint some parts in here, but we ain't gonna worry about that right now. Forget it. Let me go back to our stand. Mount the block. Now I'm wondering. Ah yeah, we'll just go factory. I'm not trying to be fancy. We got the crank. Let's see what parts we got here. Yeah, see, all those pistons are junk. As is the throwout clutch. And, oh, well, the clutch was in good shape. That's okay, we'll replace it later. Don't worry. It'll be fine. So now we'll go shopping. I could go to the extra power shop, but we're just gonna be normal. No need to be fancy. We're gonna need a lot of parts. So let's start by getting this bottom end buttoned up. Let's make sure if it's just regular piston with conrod, as you can see, because there's many different choices. 8 cylinders, we need 8 pistons. Pretty simple. If you have 8 pistons, you need 8 piston rings. Do the math. It's not hard. Haha, I know. But we will need some rod caps, because you have to have those. And I've passed them, I'm sure. They're easy to pass in this menu. The menu could be a little easier. I'm sure probably on PC or something it's probably a lot easier to do. But here we are. It's all good. While I'm here this far into the menu, might as well gather our spark plugs. And probably a few other various items that I know we're probably going to need. You know what? We'll stick here first. Yeah, I wish it was that easy, right? We'll have to get the crank caps here in a bit. I find it easier to just go ahead and install the pistons and rings, and then I can just come back and pop the caps. Yeah, I should have checked my menu and seen whether or not I had crank caps or not, but so we need a cam. Oh, well, here's an easy way to get back up to the top of the list. Bump over. Sure, I'm probably going to need the cam gear. The biggest thing is paying attention to which part goes to what type of engine, because you have all these I's, J's, and things like that. This is just a basic overhead cam. And there's the cam caps. Some vehicles require those. Right now, what I'm going to do is find our crank caps. Grab a couple of those. I believe I'm going to need that as well. Let's take a look. Oh, we missed the rod cap for a second. I will have to purchase an oil pan, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. That's the nice thing I like about this, is being able to manipulate it a bit, so to speak. So we have our camshaft. Brand new, slide it in. Gonna need the timing chain, of course. And yes, I do wish there was a faster way to get up and down the menu, but alas, there is not. Timing cover V8 OHVI. Let's find it in here. Now we're starting to get somewhere. We do have our crankshaft pulley. We don't have our oil filter. We don't have a power steering pump. No arms. Alrighty. So we're going to need the V8 OHV water pump and a water pump pulley. And a V8 power steering pump to start with. I'll wait on that pulley just to be on the safe side. Ah, see? I was thinking the one and it was the other. Mainly more likely because of the very, very tight tolerances you have in this particular engine bay. So let's get our power steering pump. Something tells me I should grab the push rods while I'm here, but yeah, we'll wait. Can you tell I'm not real good at this? As far as trying to keep everyone entertained, I suppose. Alright, we're missing every doggone thing. Well, since we're down this far, we might as well go ahead and find oil pan for the V8. Oh, no, see? I grabbed the wrong one because I'm an idiot. Now, just because, you know, this isn't sandbox mode, as they have a sandbox mode that will allow you to basically have everything you could ever want for the game easily. This is in my own garage with my own car that I found in a barn that I decided I would like to restore. So engine arm, V8, OHVI, distributor, coil, and I'm gonna need some heads. I'm sure I'll need the intake manifold at some point. Grab that while we're coming through. I'll wait on the ignition wires. If you have a distributor, you do need a rotor and a cap. Let's see what we got going here. There we go. Ah yes, the clip B. Those that know the game know what a pain in the butt it is. there they are. Yeah, I could have bought them both at the same time. I apologize. Probably should never apologize, but I do sometimes. At some point we will need a fuel filter. So let's go get an arm. That allows us to acquire an alternator. Serpentine belts we'll worry about in a moment. Right now I need engine head over OHV eyes. Since we're this far up into the menu. And if you don't know, OHV stands for overhead valve. Remember, we picked up the spark plugs, might as well put them in while we're here. One less thing to worry about. Just regular valve push rods. Okay. First, we're going to put this other head on. This is kind of cool, just the way this goes. I mean, I don't got to worry about pesky torque settings. Yes, there's probably a lot of parts I could buy on my way through, but we're just keeping it simple. Here. I know I'm going to need a fuel pump later, so... There's our intake manifold. Alrighty, so... I know we need to go all the way down here. I knew I should have picked up the push rods, but I wasn't 100% sure if they weren't going to give me a different name, so... Better safe than sorry. There are 2 per cylinder, so you're going to need 16. Exactly. Same with the rocker arms. Might as well grab them while you're here. because that allows you to just go ahead and put them on. One at a time is probably the most tedious way. I tend to just, yeah, I know getting that little thing to land on the right spot can be a bear sometimes. But yeah, this is what I usually do. Personally, is just put all the push rods in and then come through and do all of the rocker arms behind it. Because you gotta wait for the animation of it screwing down the rockers anyway. Push rods drop right in. And honestly, if you were building this in your garage in the real life, you would go through and drop all your push rods in first with your lifters, etc., etc. Right, we don't have the head covers here. This thing came pretty bare bones. I mean, I got it for a steal. We picked it up for about 13 grand as an entire car. Well, as entire as it's gonna be. So we're gonna put a couple bucks into it. But this is one of those ones, once you're done with it, and I'm just going with a very basic style restoration. I'm not gonna get too goofy with paint and whatnot. I've already fixed the frame, so that's at 100%. We detailed the interior, so that's at 100%. All of which makes the amount of money you get for the vehicle in the end go up. And let's face it, it's a Ford GT40. It's going to be worth some money. The only question is, do I keep it? Maybe upgrade it here and there? Or do I just sell it and move on? Play with some other stuff. Now, being that this is my garage and I could be making money instead of spending this money, but I just want to focus on this particular vehicle, so. Now, what am I looking for? Valve covers. Oh, we're getting there. 2-barrel side draft carburetors. Since we're close enough up here, we might as well go and take a peek. I'm sure I'm going to need that at some point, but we'll find out here. Looks like we need 4. Okay. And this I did not know. Ah, see, told you we'd need the air trumpets, but the air trumpets we need 8. For 2-barrel carburetors. 1 for each barrel. I have to say, this puppy's looking pretty sharp. Shiny. Everything's got to be shiny and new, shiny and new. Alrighty, it looks like we've got everything except our belts. So let's go get our serpentine belts. Alrighty. If everything else is brand new, you might as well have brand new belts, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. Okay. Exhaust manifolds. Yeah, I probably should have got those while we were up at the top of the menu, but do we ever do anything the easy way? Oh, missed it. Ah, see, thought they were going to try to trick me, because they tend to. But they were the same part. Awesome sauce, as they say. And while we're here and have this pretty monster out, might as well go ahead and get our clutch plate, pressure plate, throw-out bearing, and flywheel. That we can install, because you gotta have a transmission. So that's one less thing we gotta worry about. That's pretty much taken care of there, so what we'll do is take it from the engine stand. And now we have that in our inventory. We have our fuel pump. We have some suspension parts. Oh, I guess I had 2 fuel pumps. Oh well, I don't care. That was the wrong pan, that was extra. That was extra. Let me go and put this little... The crates are kind of cool. I haven't explored them fully yet, but I have a garage devoted to all my crates. You can see there's a lot of them. One of these days I'll have to do like we used to do back in Call of Duty and put all my crates to work. So now, let's say we install this beautiful motor in here. You know what? That would be doing it piece by piece. What I need is my engine crane. And now we can move that back to where it needs to be. Oh, that looks good. And in case you're wondering, yes, you have to put oil into the vehicle. If you don't put oil in the engine, you'll never get it out of your shop to go play with. Right up there, good and full. Oh, I don't have a battery, so we can't do that part. Can't do the tools if we don't got a battery. But there's that. Just a little quick spot. If anybody would like to know, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and... I was going to wait, but since we're here, might as well work on any of the suspension parts I have. Which, honestly, for suspension parts, especially in the front end and various other places on said vehicle, just buy like 20 of these when you start a full suspension swap. You'll feel better in the morning. Let's see what parts we have. Alright. And that's all well and good. They're going to make me put that on the lift for that. Okay. So we got to rise up a little bit. Let's bring her up. And if anybody's wondering why, what I'm doing for rims and tires, it's going to be factory. I'm not a, like I said, we're going to do a factory restore. See what kind of money bonuses we get for it. I mean, you can get some good money that way. Otherwise, the best thing to do is do exhaust and transmission. You get the best bang for the buck as far as everything that you do doing those particular jobs. Alright, we need a front steering knuckle B. Because see, there wasn't a lot of parts left that were good. We don't have the front axle knuckle covers, that's right. It's always something. While I'm here, might as well grab both tie rods. I will double check on the which particular, both inner tie rods and the steering rack. Don't remember which sway bar it is off the top of my head, so we'll worry about that later. And I know we need the double wishbone shock absorbers, 2 of those, 2 of the front spring, 2 of the shock absorber cap. Gotta have them. And since we're talking about those, let's go over here to our spring compressor. join our parts. That way, safety first. You don't want to do this by hand. You don't want to do springs like that by hand. That's why they make tools. Straight up. Now that those are put together, let's go up here. What parts do you want to eat? Here, part. Brand new. So it's just the front sway bar. Okay. See, they do that to me all the time. And then we'll see which sway bar end length we need. Is it A or B? B. One for each side. Gotta have them both. Now we can put in our steering rack. Inner and outer tie rods on the passenger side. I know I'm kind of all over the place. I don't have a set pattern, I guess. But I do enjoy this part. Putting it all back together. And quite frankly, I do work in the automotive industry. I change oil for a living. Not nothing fancy or high profile, but it's a job. And in all honesty, I'm starting to notice a few of the parts that are more upper end, higher dollar stuff off, or you're trying to get stuff like for that. As you're going along, like the ABS pumps and whatnot, I keep seeing those on cars. I'm like, oh man, that's like $900. So it's kind of funny. We need 2 bottom suspension arms because that's what we need. Beautiful. Front knuckle covers. I thought I picked those up already. Oh, that was a rear axle knuckle cover. I'm not worried about if I lose a couple bucks that way during this particular build because I'm just trying to get the restoration done. So I got a couple extra parts. Who cares, right? I don't. Now, let's see, we got a front wheel hub. We do have a front wheel hub. Awesome sauce. Now, the wheel bearing, we don't have. Might as well grab both of those while we're here. And another front wheel hub because we didn't have 2 when we went there, so let's get our bearing installed. We'll worry about brakes a little later. Right now, we just want to make it look like a motor vehicle. We'll worry about the radiator a little later. And while I'm in here, might as well go ahead and get the brakes done. 1 for each side, 1 for each side, 1 for each side, 1 for each side. Now we're not going to put the rims and tires on yet because I'm going to have to rebuild those or see if we can repair them. So that front end is looking good. But there's nothing there. Well, it's a rear-wheel drive, rear-engine car, guys. Come on. There's not going to be anything there all the time. Go ahead and mount our brake pump. Oh, we need that radiator A, yes. Kind of thinks we gotta go all the way over here to get this, but you know. I know I went way far. It happens. I got a feeling I'm gonna need a starter, so I can remember if I checked to see if I had that or not. So we'll just go and grab one now. Tricked me with the radiator fan housing B. Goodness gracious. Aha. And as you can see, I grabbed the wrong radiator fan. That pretty much buttons up the front end. Let's see what we got left in here. Some suspension arms. Some brake pieces. We got bushings for days. We know we can get rid of that one. We know we can get rid of that one. Did we put on all our sway bar inlinks? No, we did not. This is why you check your... Always check your stuff. Make sure everything is there. Now someone may ask why I don't go and grab the body panels and put the front end together. Well, we're going to work on the rear suspension. We know we're going to need another one of those. And they can pretty much stay down here this time. So we need an upper suspension arm. Now if we don't have any, we need two. So we're going to need, said bottom suspension arm B. We'll probably need two of those. Alright, so we got to put it way up on the lift. I told you I bought the rear axle. Rear wheel hub B. We have one. Alrighty, once again, we gotta lift this puppy up because it's gonna not let me do what I want unless I lift it. She's like, B-Dog, why didn't you just lift it in the first place if you knew that was gonna happen? You know, hindsight 2020, that kind of thing. Alrighty, we need rear double wishbones. Obviously, one for each side. Whoa. No, we need rear springs and caps. This is where we gotta pay attention, because if you don't, you will spend money. Now you notice I bought the parts, but I haven't put them together in my spring compressor. Sorry, I had to take a drink. And one more. See, this is coming along nicely, in my opinion. I know maybe I'm going a little fast, but I like to see what it looks like when it's done. Now, if you're wondering why I don't put the little caps on, because they don't get caps when you're back here. Our transmission will be going on here in a few moments. Gearbox B V8 OHV. Let's find our gearbox. Very special, expensive gearbox. But man, that's pretty. We don't have our drive axles, so we need to pick up a couple of rear drive axle Bs. Now we need fuel tank C. And I'll be 100% honest, I'm not 1000% sure where I find that at in this menu. So let's take a look. I know there's a regular fuel tank here in the regular engine menu, so we'll head on down to the fuel system requirements. Hey, there we go, fuel tank B and C. I know we have a lot of brake parts, but I want to be sure we have what we need for the rear brakes here. So let's see what we got. Might as well grab our rear muffler for the GT40 because it's badass. That makes me wonder. Is there a place I need to put a fuel pump here? I don't think so. But we do have to get our starter in. I sold it on accident. Ain't that a bitch? Oh, I bought a regular starter, not a V8 starter. So, let's head down here to the S's. This should have been the one upgrade I allowed myself. Go buy a performance starter. That'd be hilarious. Now we're getting somewhere. Now it's starting to look like that monster it once was. Let's go to the tire changer. And we're going to take a rim off a tire. Now notice you have two different size rims and tires. Well, the rims are all the same size, but the tires are different. You got 265 60-15s. Those will be your front tires. And the 315 60-15s are going to be your rear tires. More meat, more sidewall. They got to have it. So, we're going to remove these. These are the front tires. Now sometimes this one's just good enough where we can repair it, or we didn't get it repaired. We actually made it worse than what it was. Neither here nor there. We can buy brand new rims. So we'll go in here and you just got to search through the list of GT40 rims. There we are. Now, before we get too crazy, I like to remember, yep, it's an old car, it's 15s. We need 4 of them all together, but tires. Double check our menu. Vintage tire B. 265 60-15. Look at that. Don't she look shiny? Ain't that pretty? And yes, if you're wondering, you do have to balance your rims and tires before they'll let you even install them on the vehicle. So don't try to get away without doing so. Now I can go with the vintage tire Bs, 15. We will double check our sizes. $315. You know what? We'll just wait. So now we got the tires. Kind of the main reason I was holding off, just to make sure I got the right size. You would not want your GT40 supercar to not perform like a GT40 supercar. Personally, I wouldn't. Let's face it, this is what everybody wants, right? Look at them. Big old honking tires. And sure, I could show you this, and you may look and go, factory engine power is only 355. Dude, you realize this thing weighed like nothing? At all? I am kind of curious if they'll let me do this. Ah, we need a battery to start the engine. Duh. Hello? I do believe I have a battery over here on the charger for it. Yes, I do. So my freshened up battery. Now we can put it in the dyno. Put it here in the dyno with no body. Stand back, guys. This could get loud and ugly. Just like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Alrighty. We're going to put that back into its parking spot for now. And next time, if there ever is a next time, let's face it, I don't do this often enough for anybody to give two squirts, but next time, we will, as you can see, this would be like trying to, like, here, bang, there's an easy job, transmission, easy all day. But next time we do this, we will work on the body. You folks have a great evening. Thanks for watching, if you ever do. Appreciate it. Peace.